Franklin and Bash Season 4, Episode 9, Spirits in the Material World. I think this is the funniest episode we've actually had this season. I really thought, I think, like, the entire first half was just hilarious in this episode to me. I really enjoyed the second half as well, but I think just a lot of the really silly stuff happened early on in this episode, and I really enjoyed it all the way through. But I think everyone had, like, their own great moments. We, of course, like, Peter just has some crazy fears. Like he just gets scared, and it's always funny when they have those cases. So I knew I was gonna enjoy this episode because their actual case was about a haunted house, and he freaks out about just ghosts and all that stuff. And like when he saw the dead body, I think that was in season one when they found like Infeld's friend like frozen in a mountain or whatever. And like his head came off, and Peter just passed out. I thought that was a hilarious episode, but he was just really funny, and of course, Jared was just freaking him out all the time, and that was just really silly. And then their investigator, whose name I can't think of at the moment, he was, of course, just as silly as he always is, but he was really helpful in this episode, too. He found out a lot of stuff that really helped him in this case. So I actually enjoyed that because it wasn't just him being really silly. He was in the entire episode, and he came through. He did a lot of stuff. The silliest thing he did, I think, was him stabbing the puppet. Like, he freaked out for some reason, and he stabbed it. And I love that they had the puppet at the end of the episode in the house party, and they just put a little bandage around him. I thought that was kind of funny. But everyone had their own moments. Anita and Carp had a really cool moment, and Anita just, having that old rivalry with the woman that she used to know in school, or I guess moot court, or whatever that fake thing was. I never heard of that. I don't know if that's real or not. But I enjoyed that too. Like the whole thing, I thought was pretty good. And the big thing that comes out of this episode that leaves me wondering what's going to happen in the season finale is what is the letter that Infeld got. Initially, I thought it just tied into like the haunted house thing because it was like it's their Halloween episode, so things are just spooky and stuff. And apparently, based on the end of this episode, there are actually ghosts in that house for real. But I thought it just tied into that because it was like, oh, there's a random note here. He was just talking to them about the house, and someone may have dropped off a note that he hadn't noticed until they left or whatever. But it's something that has to take him away, and it's, of course, not prison. So I'm very curious as to what it is. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe he has a kid out there. I don't know, something crazy. But for whatever reason, he's going to be taking off in the season finale, and I want to know what the answer to that is. And if it's taking him away and it's not prison, it's got to be something pretty big. So I'm very excited to see what they do for this season finale. And unfortunately, it will be the season finale next week. But I thought this was a great episode leading up to it. It, of course, with this show being the way it is, the episodes don't really have like an overarching story or anything like that, except for bits and pieces here and there. But I thought it was a great episode. We got to see a lot of people. Jared actually ended up with Bonnie in this episode, who's played by Danielle Panabaker. She came back, so that was cool. And I love the fact that she was kind of really beating them in the beginning of this episode too. I really enjoyed that. So maybe she'll be in next season a bit more, and she'll be the love interest, and things are gonna get even more complicated between Jared and Swatello, who was really the only person who wasn't in this episode. But I'm excited for next week's episode. It's the season finale for season 4, but I enjoyed this one, of course. Comment below, let me know what you guys thought about it, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what do you guys want to see in the season finale. It's season 4, episode 10 coming up, and I don't know where things are going to go for season 5. I'm not sure. I'm hoping we don't lose any of the actors for the show, because just every season I feel like just something keeps happening. We lose somebody, so I'm hoping we keep everyone for season 5. But what do you guys want to see in the season 4 finale? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.